Hello, Mark Dawson here, Senior Editor at Bloomberg Live and Editorial Director of the Qatar Economic Forum. We're heading to the Middle East now for the view from Qatar, and we're honored to be joined by Sheikh Ali Alwaleed Al-Thani, who is CEO of the Investment Promotion Agency of Qatar, and he's in charge of encouraging international business to invest in Qatar. It is, of course, a huge year for Qatar, with the FIFA World Cup only 11 months away in December. But before that, Sheikh Ali, keen for your view now in January. Omicron is still with us. How is the virus impacting your business and investment outlook for the year ahead?
Well, thank you, Mark, and it's a pleasure to be with Bloomberg looking at the year ahead. And as you mentioned, currently all eyes are centered on the post-pandemic recovery. Economic prospects diverge across countries and regions. We think that there's two main determinants for how different countries are progressing. First is fiscal support during the pandemic, and the second is the vaccination progress. Now, when you come back to the Middle East and North Africa, the region is expected to accelerate growth to around 4.4% in terms of GDP. To Qatar, I mean, when we look at those two determinants, we have certainly outperformed the region. Vaccination is at around 90% of eligible adults. Fiscal support has been strong throughout the pandemic. Qatar maintains a very strong fiscal position relative to GDP growth, and that's due to a number of different headwinds, including the commodities super cycle that we're now in.
Yeah, thank you. So about if we had this conversation in November, I would have been coming to you from Hong Kong. I'm now in New York. Obviously, America and Hong Kong, very different approaches to the virus. In the US, we're talking about learning to live with the virus. Is that something that Qatar is looking at?
Definitely. I mean, we believe now that we're heading towards a more kind of endemic phase. The tools that we have are different than before. Economic prospects continue to normalize, and we believe that the transition to an endemic phase, or so-called endemic phase, can trigger the investment appetite, accelerate business activities, heading towards pre-pandemic levels while maintaining the secular trends such as digitization, supply chain resiliency, and localization. Qatar is maintaining its drive towards economic diversification and greater private sector participation in these efforts.
Good. Has your strategy changed now that we're approaching an endemic sort of outlook? Has your strategy changed in the past few months, or is it the same? Has your strategy been the same these past 2 years?
Well, look, our organization, like all investment promotion agencies, has to adapt in terms of strategy. First, in terms of maintaining a business continuity that was in 2020 to 2021 towards reopening, and also in terms of targeting new sectors in the economy, the growth of the digital economy, such as software development, data centers, cloud computing, ICT, digital health, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. These are new sectors for FDI promotion. The favorable business environment, availability of skills and talent in the region, we see that as being a lucrative value proposition for Qatar. Despite, the challenges of the pandemic, we see these sectors continue to drive the knowledge economy. Our non-hydrocarbon portion of the GDP, which sits at 50%, is maintaining that proportion despite the high hydrocarbon prices. So there is quite a few headwinds, including the World Cup by the end of the year, Qatar's economic diversification efforts, and as well as a new commodity super cycle that we look towards accelerating our growth in terms of attracting FDI.
So you mentioned hydrocarbons and tech there. Are there, maybe give me your top 3 sectors. Is there a that you're targeting for investing in Qatar? Is there a particular sectors that you're targeting?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a number of new emerging sectors and a number of sectors that are more kind of traditional in nature. So agri-tech is a new area that Qatar is currently witnessing a significant growth in. Industry 4.0, such as technology, electric vehicles, automation, professional services and media, sports, which is not only limited to the World Cup, but also other large-scale sports events such as the Formula One, the 2030 Asian Games, and also the growth of sports tech as a sector within Qatar. Tourism and hospitality have seen significant growth coming into kind of the post-pandemic phase. And also now with ESG and the circular economy. So many opportunities around these sectors, which we look to promote.
Agri-tech, obviously key to Qatar's self-sustainability. Obviously, we're all friends now in the region from the embargo and blockade that was in the past. Is that self-sustainability still a key driver of what you're doing?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, resilience or resiliency is the overall theme of the Qatari economy. I mean, and this is evident. I mean, we've witnessed the Qatari economy withstand external shocks time and time again. From a logistics point of view, from diversifying our supply chain, and from a self kind of sustainability, point of view. All these have contributed to building resiliency within Qatar. This we view as a value proposition in itself, and we continue to promote that part of our economy as part of the economic diversification efforts that Qatar is undertaking.
So, World Cup in December, not that far away. I think the infrastructure's ready. We're all looking forward to it. In your area, how much do you think the World Cup is going to benefit you? I mean, the overall benefits to the economy is in the billions, but in terms of businesses coming into Qatar, hopefully post World Cup, is there a number that you're targeting or envisioning?
Yeah, definitely the World Cup is an impetus for growth, not only in terms of FDI, also in terms of tourism, of putting Qatar on the map, in terms of sports, in terms of events, hosting large-scale events, and I mean to showcase Qatar as a destination, as a place to live and work. This is an opportunity, and we believe that we are well positioned to benefit from hosting such an event in Qatar.
Now, all the coverage of the World Cup, unfortunately, not all of it's positive. And there's reports that certain teams might be protesting on the pitch or things like that. Do you think these events, these sort of protests, perhaps might scare away potential investors? How are we preparing for that?
No, we welcome, I mean, scrutiny to a certain degree, and we believe, I mean, the increased spotlight on Qatar leads to greater reforms. So we've seen Qatar reform its labor system. That in itself led to a greater retainment of talent within Qatar. So, I mean, the greater spotlight, greater scrutiny, we all believe that to continue to benefit Qatar's value proposition. Qatar has always been open to this debate, and we've taken comments into account. We've adapted, we've changed laws, we've reformed our regulatory environment. So we see, I mean, that as a positive thing in the long run.
Okay, so the World Cup, we're seeing countries from all around the world come to Doha. With regards to your strategy, are there particular areas, regions that you are particularly focused on? Asia, is Asia a number one target compared to Western companies being number two? And is with regards to geography, what's your strategy?
Yeah, generally, I mean, we are geographically agnostic in terms of attracting FDI. But when you look at the numbers, most of investment into Qatar comes from the US and Europe. The US remains as Qatar's single largest foreign investor at around 100 billion FDI stock. That has traditionally been the region where most of our FDI originates from. Now we've seen growth as well, especially in Southeast Asia, from South Asia as well. That segment is starting to get more diversified, and we look to promote, in our strategic markets, being the US, Europe, Southeast Asia, and China. And there are many sectors that we look to promote within Qatar that complements this geographic approach.
With the US as your number one partner, investment partner at the moment, does that impact your China strategy with regards to investment?
No, I think, there are, a number of opportunities, both towards, different geographies. So we don't see really a large impact. Qatar is a fairly an open, and liberal economy. We welcome investments from all regions in all sectors, even though we prioritize certain sectors based on our own kind of development agenda. So Qatar, we welcome everyone.
Good. So obviously there's even though, as we said, we're all friends now in the region, but there's now still some healthy competition, which is great with regards to Riyadh, Dubai, Doha, and broader Qatar. So how do you pitch Western companies that might be saying to you, I'm thinking about Riyadh, I'm thinking about Dubai. What's Qatar's USP? What's your pitch?
Yeah, look, we do not look unfavorably towards regional competition. We believe that growth in the region benefits Qatar, and you can see that in other areas. We do not exist in a vacuum. So if the UAE grows economically, Saudi Arabia grows economically, that benefits us in the long term. Qatar has a strong and resilient economy. We've shown that from our strong fiscal position, which will continue to outperform our GDP growth, and we're looking to maintain that. That would be at the forefront of the GCC forecast, with around 4% GDP growth in 2020 and 5.7% in 2022. And that is from the recent IMF report. Qatar is the second most competitive economy in the GCC, the second in terms of economic freedom in the Arab world, and the fourth highest GDP per capita globally. We have a very business-friendly environment. We represent a strategic launchpad for businesses from Qatar to the world, being connected at a gateway between East and West, strong connections to markets in Africa and Asia, strong investment protection ties globally, the world's best airline and airport. So connectivity, knowledge, innovation, business-friendly environment, that is our strong points. And I would like to highlight that.
So yeah, we've got 30 seconds left. So I'm going to see if you can give us a scoop. Who's going to be signing post World Cup? Who do you think is going to be signing deals with you? Who's going to be the first to sign a deal investing in Qatar?
Well, look, we announce them as they reach fruition. I would just state that our pipeline is strong going into 2022. We have a number of secular headwinds, such as the growth in the hydrocarbon sector, Qatar's North Field expansion would lead to significant growth and other investment opportunities. New legislative reforms such as the PPP law, greater private sector participation, and also effective government incentives and economic management. We believe that would be the impetus for greater FDI growth going into 2022 and beyond.
Thank you. Thank you, Sheikh Ali, for your outlook on the year ahead. And you can hear more from the Middle East and the view from Qatar later this year. Stay tuned later this year for the second Qatar Economic Forum, powered by Bloomberg, this June 20th to 22nd in Doha. Sheikh Ali, thank you.
Thank you very much.